In the warm glow of the crackling fireplace, Elena, the seasoned nurse with her sharp bob haircut and confident poise, stepped into the cozy cabin where young Lila awaited. The air was thick with the scent of pine and cinnamon, a stark contrast to the sterile hospital rooms Elena knew so well. Lila, with her cascading blonde waves and wide, curious eyes, had been Elena's patient during a recent illness, but now, discharged and healing at home, their connection lingered like an unspoken promise. Elena had volunteered to check on her, but as she set down her medical bag, she felt the shift from professional duty to something far more personal. Lila's sweater hugged her softly, the gray knit mirroring the soft twilight outside, while Elena's red top burned like embers against the stone hearth. They exchanged smiles, words tumbling out about recovery and quiet nights, but beneath it all, a current of desire hummed, drawing them closer on the plush rug before the fire. As the flames danced higher, casting flickering shadows across their faces, Elena reached for Lila's wrist to check her pulse, a habit from their clinical days. But her fingers lingered, tracing the delicate veins, feeling the quickened beat that betrayed more than health. Lila's breath hitched, her blue eyes locking onto Elena's dark, knowing gaze. "You're doing so well," Elena murmured, her voice low and velvety, but the words carried a double meaning that made Lila's cheeks flush. They shifted nearer, knees brushing, the space between them shrinking like the dying light of day. Conversation meandered from Lila's art studies to Elena's tales of midnight shifts, but silences grew heavier, charged with the what-ifs they'd both imagined in stolen glances during visits. The fire popped, sending sparks upward, mirroring the spark igniting within them, young curiosity meeting mature assurance in a symphony of unspoken need. Lila's hand trembled slightly as she poured mulled wine from the steaming pot on the side table, the rich aroma mingling with their rising heat. Elena accepted the glass, their fingers intertwining briefly in the exchange, a touch that sent shivers down spines despite the room's warmth. Sipping slowly, they leaned back against the stone wall, bodies now side by side, thighs pressing together under the guise of comfort. Elena spoke of the loneliness in her line of work, how patients came and went like ghosts, but Lila stayed, a vivid presence that haunted her dreams. Lila confessed her own fears of the future, the uncertainty of youth, and how Elena's steady presence had been her anchor. Their words wove a tapestry of vulnerability, pulling them inexorably closer, until Lila's head rested on Elena's shoulder, the nurse's arm encircling her waist with protective tenderness, the boundary between caregiver and lover blurring into oblivion. The wine warmed their veins, loosening tongues and limbs alike, as Elena turned Lila's face gently toward her own, thumb brushing a stray blonde curl from her forehead. "You've grown so strong," Elena whispered, her breath ghosting over Lila's lips, close enough to taste the spiced sweetness on her exhale. Lila's eyes fluttered half-closed, lips parting in anticipation, the mature woman's proximity a magnetic force she couldn't resist. Elena's free hand slid to the nape of Lila's neck, fingers threading through soft waves, tilting her head just so. The world narrowed to the space between them, the faint crackle of logs, the rhythmic rise and fall of chests sinking in unison. No more words, only the electric pause, heavy with intent, as Elena closed the gap, her full lips meeting Lila's in a tentative brush that deepened instantly, tongues tentatively exploring, a kiss born of pent-up longing that tasted of wine and wildfire. Their first kiss unfolded like a secret unfolding petals, soft and exploratory at first, Elena guiding with the patience of experience while Lila responded with eager innocence. Lips melded, breaths mingled, hands roaming tentatively, Elena's palm cupping Lila's cheek, Lila's fingers clutching the fabric of Elena's sweater as if to anchor herself in the storm of sensation. The fire's heat paled against the blaze building between them, bodies arching closer, knees tangling on the rug. Elena pulled back slightly, only to capture Lila's lower lip between hers, sucking gently, eliciting a soft whimper that vibrated through them both. Time suspended, the cabin's isolation amplifying every sigh, every subtle shift, young and mature entwined in a dance of discovery, where hesitation gave way to hunger, the kiss evolving from sweet to searing, promising depths yet unexplored. Breaking for air, their foreheads rested together, eyes half-lidded and gleaming with shared mischief, but the pull was too strong to resist for long. Elena's hand trailed down Lila's arm, intertwining fingers before drawing her fully into her lap, the younger woman's legs straddling her thighs in a bold move that surprised them both. Lila's hands framed Elena's face, thumbs tracing high cheekbones, before diving back in, this kiss fiercer, teeth grazing, tongues dueling with newfound confidence. The gray sweater rode up slightly, exposing a sliver of skin that Alina's fingers explored, tracing the curve of her waist, eliciting goosebumps despite the fire's embrace. Whispers of more and yes punctuated the heated exchange, bodies grinding subtly, friction building like the flames before them, a testament to the raw, unfiltered passion between nurse and patient turned lovers. As the kiss intensified, Alina's grip tightened on Lila's hips, guiding her rhythm, the mature woman's control a soothing counterpoint to Lila's fervent abandon. They shifted, Lila's back now against the soft throw pillows by the hearth, Alina hovering above, her dark hair falling like a curtain around them, creating an intimate world of their own. Lips trailed from mouth to jaw, then to the sensitive spot beneath Lila's ear, nipping lightly and drawing out a gasp that echoed in the quiet room. Hands ventured bolder, Alina's under the hem of the gray knit, caressing the smooth plane of Lila's stomach, while Lila tugged at Alina's red top, bunching it up to reveal toned midriff, fingers splaying possessively. The air hummed with their mingled moans, the kiss resuming in languid sweeps, each pass deeper, wetter, a conversation without words about trust, desire, and the beautiful asymmetry of their ages. Night deepened outside, but inside, their connection burned brighter, Alina capturing Lila's mouth again in a kiss that claimed as much as it cherished, her body pressing down to align every curve. Lila arched up, legs wrapping around Alina's waist, pulling her impossibly closer, the friction of sweaters and skin a delicious torment. Tongues tangled lazily now, savoring the taste of each other, Alina's hands sliding higher to cup a breast through fabric, thumb circling with expert tease that made Lila buck and whine into the kiss. Elena, she breathed, the name a plea, answered by a soothing hum against her lips, the nurse's experience weaving spells of pleasure. They rolled slightly, Lila gaining leverage to nip at Alina's collarbone, eliciting a rare vulnerability from the older woman, a soft laugh turning to a groan, as the kiss reignited, fierce and forgiving, binding them in a tapestry of touch and taste. The fire had settled to glowing embers, mirroring the sustained simmer of their embrace, but passion flared anew as Alina's fingers deftly unbuttoned the top of Lila's sweater, exposing lace and skin to the warm air. Lila shivered, not from cold, but from the intensity of Alina's gaze, appreciative, hungry, before lips descended again, this time peppered with kisses along her neck, collarbone, each one a spark to Lila's kindling nerves. Hands explored freely now, mapping bodies with reverence, Lila's nails raking lightly down Alina's back, Alina's palm pressing between thighs over denim, drawing out a throaty moan that broke their kiss momentarily. Reconnecting, the kiss was molten, all-consuming, tongues stroking in mimicry of deeper wants, bodies undulating in sync, young vitality fueling mature wisdom into a crescendo of ecstasy whispered against heated skin. As exhaustion crept in, sweetened by satisfaction, they slowed to tender pecks, foreheads pressed, breaths sinking in the afterglow by the dying fire. Elena drew a blanket over them, cocooning Lila against her chest, fingers idly stroking blonde tresses while Lila traced lazy patterns on Alina's arm. The kiss they shared then was gentle, a seal on promises unspoken, of more nights, more touches, bridging the gap between healer and healed, mature and young. In that cabin haven, wrapped in wool and warmth, their lips met one last time that evening, soft and lingering, a vow etched in the quiet, where love's embers promised to reignite with every dawn, their story just beginning in the tender art of lesbian affection.